It's week 6 of my Christian 75 Hard. I'll put up on the screen the rules that I've been following for the last 6 weeks, trying to make it all the way to 75 days. Let's talk through some of the service I was able to do this week. So some of the service that I've been doing is the same service that I've already been doing. But as I talked about last week, it's been a really good lesson for me to realize that people's needs never go away, and things that need to change and things that need to get better, you have to work on them for a long time. You can't just do it once and call it good. I'm still going on a walk with my friend every week. We've been really enjoying that. And then also there's this new family that moved into our congregation, and so I've been trying every Sunday to reach out to them, make sure they have what they need, see if anything I can do to help. Also, one of my kids that I've been working on trying to improve our relationship, that is something that also comes up every week. And so those are 3 things that I'm always trying to work on every week. Some of the other service I did this week, one of my kids, actually a couple of my kids, are really particular about being on time. And I had the thought that I should try really hard to not think about myself and instead think about this child. And so I said, you know what, we're gonna get an earlier start on the day and help these other kids who are maybe a little bit later get to the things that they need to get done. My child really appreciated that, and I really love the reminder from my Savior that everyone is important and we can make other people's lives easier by making different choices ourselves. I've also talked about before, I have people in our congregation, my ministering sisters, people that I'm supposed to check on. And there's one sister that I do a pretty good job with. I have 3 sisters that I'm assigned to check on and see how they're doing. And 2 of them I haven't been doing super great on. And one of the things that always holds me back is I'm always just kind of worried about what people think, because I'm worried that, I should be contacting them and I haven't been. And so I'm just embarrassed to contact them because I just feel like, oh, it's so awkward that I'm supposed to be doing this and I haven't, so I just avoid contacting them at all, even though these are people that I love. So this week I texted both of them, and they both were so nice and wanted to get together. And it was just a good lesson for me to remember that you don't need to worry, and people love getting together and they are not frustrated with you, and you should just reach out to people because they want to be reached out to. Another bit of inspiration I received is that I should try to withhold my criticism from one of my kids. But honestly, that's something I've been trying to do with all of my kids this summer. In particular, when we were thinking about things we wanted to do better, my husband and I decided that we really need to try harder to not criticize our kids. We're maybe not at the stage where we're going to be yelling at our kids or something like that, but we are pretty good at saying things that they're doing that they need to do better, or just criticizing the way that they're doing things. Something that I've really been trying hard is to get rid of the criticism in my speech. Another day I went and visited a homebound sister. It was a really good experience. I was really glad that I went out of my comfort zone. There's something that's really cool about doing a challenge because it helps you create new habits and try new things that normally you might not have done. And I was really grateful for that opportunity, and it's something that has really helped me and blessed my life and made my day go better by visiting her that day. Another day I was subbing, and I subbed in a resource room with some kids that I knew pretty well from last year when I was a long-term sub in that room. And one of the kids in particular just really likes me, and one of the things that he likes about me is he loves to show me his different video games that he's been into and actually creating. He likes to create video games on Scratch. And so anytime I come, he'll come up to my desk and he'll want to show me all of the different things that he's made. And I don't really understand it. But one thing that I do understand is I know how important it is for kids to feel validated and for them to feel loved. And a really big part of that is coming into their world and just kind of showing appreciation for the things that they can do. And so I'm so grateful when I'm able to see him and I can help him feel like, hey, there's somebody here who cares about me and wants to hear what I'm interested in. Another thing with that class is there was a kid that was having a bad day, but one thing that I can do is just ask him how his year's been going, how his day's going. And that's another thing that I just feel like is so interesting at school, where there's so many kids and they have so many interactions with teachers that sometimes I think it's possible that they could never be asked how their day is going or how their year is going. And so I try to make a point to do that, to connect on that level with kids when I'm in a school environment, because I want them to know, hey, there's an adult here who cares about me, who wants to know what's going on in my life and doesn't just care if I got the test done or whatever it is. On Saturday, we had a really busy day and we had a couple of different activities we had to go to. And then in the evening, we had an event at the church and I was just dead tired. I did not really want to engage socially, but I just knew that something that I could do to serve was to go look outside of myself and talk to more people. My dad, he's known for what we call in our family working the room. He would go and talk to everybody, anybody, and just see who they are and get to know them and talk to them and reconnect with people. And I love that about my dad. And so I was trying to channel my inner dad and just work the crowd, just try and get to know everybody and make connections with people. And it's so much happier. That's what's so cool about service, is it's so much better than sitting there just being like, I'm so tired and I don't want to be here. And instead just engaging with people and you're like, oh, I feel better. And it was really fun having connections with people. Again, on Sunday, I've been trying to make it more about looking outside of myself and connecting with people that maybe I haven't had a chance to connect with. I think that's so helpful and so important when you can make other connections with people and make people feel seen and loved. And somebody did make a comment to me. They're like, I'm so glad we got to talk. You just never know how much you impact other people, and it's really important to look outside of yourself and connect with people. Lastly, my husband was really busy and he had some other things he had to take care of. It was really difficult at home. My kids have been struggling to get along and it was just a rough day and I was dead tired. And then I had this thought come to me that I could refrain from sending him a text saying, hurry home or something like that. And I didn't really know what was going on with my husband or why it was taking so long. And so when he came home and he was kind of able to explain to me what was happening, I just felt like I'm so glad that I didn't just make him feel bad about how long it was taking, because it was something that was really important that he needed to do. And so that was a really special lesson for me. And one of the things that I've been learning this week, I'm not always able to get my prayer about what I'm supposed to serve right at the beginning of the day. One thing you should probably know about me is that I'm a very sincere person. And so I can't just do things like rotely. It's very difficult. And that's part of why I have a hard time with consistency, is because I always want to do it with like a very sincere, true to myself when I'm doing things. And so sometimes I can't get to it right at the beginning of the day because it's too busy or whatever. And sometimes I haven't been able to say that prayer and I can feel this feeling in my heart, this resolve that comes over me where I realize like that is the thing. This is the thing you can do to serve somebody today. And I'm really grateful for the Lord's trust in me and my relationship with Him, where He helps me realize that, hey, I know we're on the same page and I know you feel a strong desire to be sincere and help others, and He can still give me that inspiration even if I'm not doing it exactly in the correct order or whatever it may be. Two different things I've learned this week, a realization I had while I was on my walk. It was a Saturday and my kids were kind of having a hard day, going kind of crazy. And when I left the house, I was like, oh, I'm kind of leaving the person who's in charge here in a bit of a bad spot because I am just kind of taken off and I'm going to be able to be on this nice quiet walk while everyone's bickering at home. And I had the realization that the thing that I'm doing, the walk that I'm going on, is just as important as anything else on my to-do list. And I didn't need to feel bad, or I didn't need to tell myself not to do it just because the day was a little difficult or whatever. And I'm also a people pleaser, so I hate putting people out. I hate making it inconvenient for somebody. And I just realized that these things that I'm doing are important and they're not just a silly little thing. And anything that I want to do is okay. Like I can make time for it and it's important just like anything else I've got to do that day. The other thing that I realized was that these habits that I'm gaining from reading my scriptures and praying and meditating have really helped me. I feel like with my meditating, I have learned to recognize when I'm tensing up, when my jaw is clenched, when my shoulders are tight. And I've started to recognize those things in me when I'm getting stressed. And I start to realize like, oh, I can release my shoulders. I can release my jaw. I can take a deep breath. And that has been really cool to realize like I have tools now. And that's something I remember from teaching my special ed kids about meditating is that it's practice for the real thing. So one thing that's so impressive about meditating when you do it every single day is you have those skills in the back of your brain so that when you need to use them, you know how to be calm. You know how to get to a spot where you can be peaceful in the moment. I can't say that I'm perfect at it, but it is cool to see that I'm starting to develop these skills and I know how to calm myself down. So I have been loving doing this week. I've loved being able to serve and getting better at all of these consistent things. It's been so cool this week to see myself be consistent at things. I was doing this activity with myself where I was journaling what I wanted my future self to be. And I've done these kinds of activities before. And it was really cool to think, wow, like one of the things that I've always wanted my future self to be is somebody who is consistent. And to think because of this challenge, I've been able to be consistent. And I just thought now I can pick something else that I need to work on, that I need to get better at. And it was really exciting to see. And it also helped me realize that part of what is so cool about doing a challenge to do something every day, and then in your brain, it tricks your brain into saying, hey, you actually are good at this. And it changes how you see yourself because you're actually doing it every day. And one thing that's been a struggle for me in the past is making things count, feeling like I needed to do a certain amount of something for it to count that day. And so this challenge has really helped me see a lot of the things I haven't put time limits on. I didn't say how many pages I needed to read of a novel each night. I didn't say how many minutes of scriptures I need to read or anything like that. And it has helped me see that I can count all kinds of things and it can help me realize what I can do, the things I can add into a day. And I don't feel so stressed about, well, it has to be exactly like this and it has to be like this and it has to be in this order. And instead, I'm able to see myself as a consistent person. And of course, over time, I will get better and I will be able to do things for longer amounts of time and I'll be able to figure out where it should fit in my day. But it's just been a really good practice for me and I have loved having that aspect of the challenge to help me realize all of the things I can accomplish every single day. So later this week, I'll be back with another video, and then next week I'll have another update on 75 Hard. Bye!